Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wist. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joe Vinorni with Cherry the Geek TV. Thanks for joining us today. Todd, I was wondering if we can start off with you. The character of Mr. Pat is based off of a real-life person that was someone you observed growing up in Sandusky, Ohio. I was wondering if you could talk about him as a person, what about him influenced you and stuck with you to want to make a movie about him, and what about Udo did you see that made you say, hey, he's the guy for this part? And then to Udo, when Todd talked to you about this character, what was it that drew you into the character and to the part, and how did you prepare in playing him?
Okay. So I come from a town that's fairly conservative, especially when I was growing up. People didn't really rock the boat, but there was this one guy in town that I remember from when I was a little kid that was totally different and totally stuck out. And that was Pat. And he owned the most fabulous hair salon downtown on the corner. And Pat would go around, looking very different than everyone else. Like, he had a velvet fedora and a, feather boa, and was just really, this was back in like the 70s and 80s, and was just this outrageous man that was true to himself, that's what I admired about him, because I didn't feel like I fit in either. So Pat, I always looked up to him. I never really knew him very well, but yeah, so but I did know that for the last 25 years that I wanted to make a film about him. In terms of casting, to be perfectly honest, it was a really, really hard role to cast. We thought about a number of people, and my casting director suggested Udo, and I had, all of a sudden I remembered all of Udo's films that I love, the Andy Warhol films. I'm a huge fan of My Own Private Idaho, and that film was a big influence on me. And so yeah, before I knew it, we got the script to Udo, and he liked the script, and I jumped on a plane, and we hung out and got to know each other.
And then Udo, what was it about Mr. Pat that inspired you, and what did you see in this character that made you want to play him, and how did you prepare for playing him?
Well, okay, little story. After I had two very successful movies, I can say that, Bacurau and The Painted Bird, where I play a very evil character. And when I read the script, I thought, wow, that is something totally different. Very good script. And to play an old man in a retirement home who gets an offer to do something for money, and he goes back in his past. So there wasn't for me any preparation. It was for me, in a role like that, I knew, which I have learned from Lars von Trier, don't act. So I wasn't acting in that movie. I had a strong director who showed me photographs, how the real Pat was holding his hand, or I talked to friends of his, and they told me stories. So I learned it wasn't programmed, now I do this, now I do this. I came there after we met here, and we did a little crowdfunding successfully. And then I just went there and I said to Todd, I would like to, if possible, that we start with the beginning of the movie. And I spent 2 days in my room in the retirement home. And I wanted to feel the mattress. I wanted to know what is everywhere. So, and then we actually Todd shot as chronological as we could. So I had the development and wonderful actors, and even in smaller roles, but they were amazing. And I was looking forward working with Linda Evans, of course. She is, I know now she listens to that, but Linda is one of the most professional actresses I have worked with, because we had only this big scene and we rehearsed. And then next door we had to go. Todd told us to come, and it was all there. It was not, oh, I don't remember my line. Oh, I don't. It was just, it came. It was a situation when I tell her, why didn't she come to the funeral of my friend? So I had a great time doing the film. There's one, and we shot in Sandusky in Ohio, and there's one street. So there is the thrift store where I got my suit. There is the theater. So it was all kind of family. We were always together. It wasn't not a trailer film where people step out of the trailer, the actors, and complain it's too cold, it's too hot, and the food is no good. It wasn't anything like that. It was a real very strong work together, and everybody, the camera, everybody was very, very nice.
The scene where that Linda and Pat did together, there was no air conditioning, and it was in the middle of Ohio in the summer. And I must have been, I don't know, 90 something degrees in the house. But I was amazed that like Udo and Linda didn't sweat, you know? So like that must be like, what to me, like, you know, stars maybe don't sweat. I don't know. But that amazed me. And they didn't complain either. They didn't complain either. So
we sweated inside.
Yes.
Well, I just wanted to say Udo Kier is just hilarious in this movie. He's so funny, and I'm used to seeing him in, you know, movies like Brawl in Cell Block 99 or you know, Blood for Dracula, whatever. So Udo, tell us about doing comedy. Do you wish you had more roles like this? And Todd and Linda, tell us what it's like to work with Udo Kier.
What it's like to work with him? It was different for me, to be honest, because like I the other films that I've done, I always rehearsed ahead of time, you know, and spent like 4 or 5 days rehearsing. And Udo didn't want to rehearse, you know. Udo's a different type of actor who's like, and to be honest, like that concerned me, you know, like before we started shooting, but like the day, you know, the first time the camera rolled and I saw how incredibly natural, you know, and in the moment he is and not pre-calculated, pre-planned. I understood, you know, so it was like a new way of working for me, which I'm very grateful for.
When the last few films I did, playing like in Baccarat, the villain, and in many movies, actually, and when I read this script, I thought, oh, that's something totally different. And I didn't want it to act, you know. You can't. I mean, you cannot stand by the window looking out and turn around looking to the floor, saying important words, and then finally you look at your partner. No, it wasn't like that. I liked the script. That was the most important thing. And it's always in my life, the script. And I liked the script, and I knew I could play this character without playing it. It's just like being there, observing, and being, you know, that's why I was very happy that we shot almost chronological. So I was I was the old man. I stayed 2 days in the room before the camera came in, and I knew everything, what is in every drawer. I knew where my cigarettes were hiding. I know what was under the mattress. I know everything. And then when I got the offer to do the hair of the richest woman in Silaski, so then I went on my trip. First I said no, and then I went on my trip back in my past, and it was just non-acting. I mean, you go to a store and you want a jacket, and the woman all of a sudden says, "I have something for you." And then she comes with that green suit, and I think, "Oh my God." Then I take it on, open the curtain from, jump, here I am. And then she gives me even a hat, and I became the person. There was no acting. That is like, we actors react anyway, always, but it wasn't programmed acting. It wasn't rehearsed acting. It was the person which I played. And I saw the film a couple of weeks ago for the first time, and I like it. And that's very seldom. Normally, when I see a film when I did a film, normally it's like, I don't like this, and I said to myself, why did you do it like that? You could have done it differently. And in this film, no. I like the whole movement, the whole journey of Pat.
And Linda Evans, it's great to see you. One of my earliest memories as a kid, when I was 3 years old, was waiting for my mom to come home at night, and they had Big Valley reruns on around midnight, and she'd rock me to sleep watching the Big Valley. And I told her that I was going to be talking with you today, and she said, "Oh, she was on the Big Valley with all those hunks." And look, it's 50 years later, and you're still sitting on a screen with a bunch of hunks. Look at this. My question for you is, you've been away for 20 years. We haven't seen you on a screen in a long time, and here you are. It's great to see you. You look fantastic. What was it about this film that brought you back?
It was Todd's script. It came and I thought, oh my goodness, what is this? And I read it. I fell in love with it. I just fell in love. He is the best writer. He just tugs at your heart. And I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to do this? How do I do this? I mean, think back to this lifetime where I'm acting. But I must say, I saw the film a couple of weeks ago as well, and I laughed and I cried, and I thought, oh my God, he did it. He pulled it off. I mean, he is such a great director, and Udo, oh my God, the work that he did in this, what an honor to be working with someone like him in this project. I think people are really going to love this film. It's going to stand out. It's a treasure of a film. Did you see it?
I have, yeah.
Oh, good.
I hope so.
You're all fantastic.
And it was wonderful because I've never worked on a film like this that was, well, first I worked the last day, but I was there a few days before. But, he had very little money, and what he did, his talent to bring out the people that worked for him loved and adored him so much, Todd, that they bent over backwards to help him. I'd heard Hollywood was a whole nother world now since I stopped working, and it was all about the bottom dollar. And on his film, it was all about creativity and heart, and everyone just gave 1,000,000%. It was an exceptional experience because it was simple, everybody really cared, and everybody gave 100%. Working with Udo was just one of the great joys of my career because we had such a bonding with each other. And he was so real that I felt like I was in life with him rather than working with him. It was really exceptional for me.
Thank you, Linda.
Hi, everyone. This question is specific for Mr. Todd Stephens, but anybody can really answer this. In the context of the narrative film, I can say that the film is the main event, MANE event, in the South by Southwest. In the context of your so-called Ohio trilogy, Todd, do you consider this as your main event, MAIN?
I don't know. It's like to me, films are like children, and it's like I love them all. I love them all the same in different ways or whatever. But I would like to think that it's like a more mature. It's been a while since I've made a film, and currently right now it's definitely my favorite. But the main event, I don't know. I mean, I'll let other people decide that. I love them all, but to me, I feel like it's my best film, but we'll see.
I was wondering, Todd, we're all talking about how great the script is. Walk us through how you wrote the script. Are you a big outline guy, or do you like to dive into scenes?
That's a good question. I'm a big outline guy. Yeah, I teach film as well, and I always teach my students, start with a step outline. I'm a huge the book is over there, but like Robert McKee's Story is like sort of my like screenplay structure Bible. So but the idea came pretty quickly. Like I always knew I wanted to write about Pat, but formulating this specific story, it just kind of came one day, And that said, I spent years writing the script before we got it off the ground.
Todd, thematically, I know that this film kind of deals with the past versus the present, both in terms of the relationships of the characters, but also in terms of gay culture, growing up in a small town and gay culture and a culture that's disappearing. I wonder if you could comment on that and what you set out in terms of exploring that theme.
For me, gay culture, small town gay culture kind of saved my life growing up in a place like that and finding it was amazing. There was a queer bar in my little town, which is kind of, I'm very lucky, but that it was a family, It was like a close-knit family and of people that I'm still connected to. And I treasure that family. And it, however, it's sort of gay culture is melting, I think. It's there's so many small town gay bars that are going out of business and for a variety of different reasons. Now the pandemic is going to like make it even worse, I think. But I feel like maybe younger gay LGBTQ people maybe don't have the need to have that safe space in the same way that I did, because they can feel more free to be who they are wherever, which is amazing, that's amazing. But it's kind of bittersweet because at the cost of that is that a lot of these small town queer bars and spaces like are going out of business, So it's like almost like the loss of a culture, certain traditions, the way we talk, the way we communicated. It's all, it's kind of like, I don't know. So I was trying to raise that question, with the film. It's like, is it okay that these spaces all go away, or maybe we should think about that, So it'll be interesting to see, as the world wakes up, will people continue to just be more isolated like we are right now? Or maybe we'll have a need to kind of be together again, So we'll see.
Udo,
Yes.
how does Todd rank with some of the great directors?
Oh, please.
Did you what?
How does Todd rank with some of the great directors you've worked with?
Please.
But he's also great in his own way. Every director is Lars von Trier doesn't like actors to act. I worked with Lars 30 years, so I know that. So when I have the script, he sent me the script and said, what would you like to play? And then I choose what I really like to play. And everybody is different, and only what I hope now, also for this film and for Todd, and for us, of course, the actors, that it plays in a cinema. I just had a film in Sundance in competition in Austin. I went there, and it was strange going to an outdoor cinema and talking to cars. I got the microphone at the end, and all the cars, I had to look at the cars and talk, and they were blinking or making noise. I want to see that film on a big screen. And as I live in Palm Springs, if it's not coming soon on a big screen, I will rent the biggest cinema in Palm Springs and show the film for my friends and invite Linda. And we have a party because I want to see it on a big screen. All the films I did lately, Baccarat, The Painted Bird, I've never seen on a big screen. So that's what is all the secret, to be, how do you call that? You be torn into the screen and you see much more. You look, but that's unfortunately, that's what is happening now.